Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. The results show when the athletes hit the field. It's the brand-new head football coach at Pittsburgh High School, Dickey Meeks. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, Bryan. Doing well.
Congratulations on the job at Pittsburgh. I want to ask you, first of all, why did you want this job?
Well, it wasn't a planned thing. I'll put it that way. It kind of was, but my wife and I, of course, we'd been up in that area, for 6-7 years when I was up at Mount Vernon, and we thought that one day when we retired, we wanted to go back up that way. And of course, I've always thought that Pittsburgh was a place that had good athletes and had a good chance to be successful, and so just so happened the timing was right for it.
Okay, now people are going to wonder, was there anything wrong in Henderson that made you want to leave Henderson?
Well, no, there wasn't, and like I say, I think that it's one of the deals that we've been able to do here is create a great job here, and I think somebody in this area is going to have a good place. But there was not anything wrong in Henderson, and there was not, like I said, this was more of a timing thing than it was anything else. Now,
do you expect then that this is going to be the last football job for you?
This will be the last one. Sure will. I don't see doing anything past this.
Okay, beyond location, what is it about Pittsburgh that attracted you?
Well, they've always had, especially back late 70s, early 80s, and all. They had great, had some really good teams through there, and they've got had a great tradition at that time, and off and on through the years have had some good, teams, and I just thought it would be a good place.
I know. It was one of the first high school football teams I covered when I got into the business was Pittsburgh's 1980 state championship team. So I've seen what they can do. Is that possible again?
Well, I sure hope it is. That's the plan. And and I know that 80 team until the 83 Dangerfield team came along probably was one of the greatest defensive teams had been in the state. So. And I know a few of the players that played on that team. In fact, a couple of those guys have coached for me, and all. And of course, learning through them and all, I kind of felt like I knew, about the town itself.
Tell me a little bit about what you know about the program and the state of the program right now.
Well, until this in '09, they had a great little run there and got to semifinals, I think it was. And then 10 is when they were put in the District of Doom, you might say, 10 and 11. And of course, they were a good team, but they just happened to be in the district with 3 or 4 other good teams. This year was down a little bit for them. Just wasn't as good years that would like to have had. But I think the possibilities are there. I think the core and the athletic core and the kids are there, and so hopefully we can get in there and do something with it.
What's the biggest rebuilding challenge that you've ever had in your coaching career?
I don't know. It seems like most times when I'd say that's what it is. It's really it really is what it is. And I guess probably here at Henderson is as big a one, because it was a longer period of time, that had not had success, but. That's just part of it, and and that's kind of me. That's kind of my mantra is to try to go in and rebuild, and so it's not something that I hadn't done before.
Well, when you have no control over the parentage of kids, though, if you know what I mean, how do you go into a situation like you said with a Henderson, for instance? How do you get that turned around when you have no control over the level of talent?
Brian, that's probably the hardest thing because every town, especially the 3A, 4A, are going to have ups and downs as far as talent. There's not any question about that. You're going to go through good runs and bad runs. So I think that the biggest thing that you have to do is establish consistency in your program and the way you do things, whether it be your training, whether it be your conditioning, whether it be what's expected. Just get them on basically a rotation that they understand what we're trying to do each day, and I think that that's the biggest secret to it.
When you look at a job like this, and you've made this change now, this will be the fifth one that you've taken like this. How closely do you investigate the leadership in the district, in the school district?
I do a lot. You know, it's funny that you say that, because when I was talking with Miss Pollen up there, the superintendent, and she was talking about, you know, how they had checked in on me and this and that, and I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, I've checked y'all too. And I said, you know, you've been in here now 7 years, and your board has remained stable, and it looks like to me you have things on the right track. And to me, that's one of the most important things.
The reason I ask that is because, you know, I've been doing White House football, and you know what's happening with Coach Randy McFarland there, and I was just wondering just how much, you know, investigation you put into something like this, because you don't want to get into a situation where, you know, no matter how well you do, you could be asked to leave in a matter of a few years.
Right, and you know, and I don't think you ever know. I think you can just do what you know, can just check in and see the stability of the leadership of the school district, and if it's been strong and all, that you just go with that.
Okay, so now what's the timetable as far as starting at Pittsburgh? And I know you've already hired some coaches, correct?
Yes, we have, and I will start there next Monday. What is that, the 28th?
Okay.
And I'll take one coach with me at that time on the 28th, and then I will take another coach on February the 15th, and then we've hired two others, but they would just be in and out this spring some, and then, of course, go into the fall.
Now, do you have spring training?
No, we would not have. Only 4A and 5A have spring training.
Okay, so what do you do? What kind of contact do you have with your football team then, you know, for the rest of the school year?
Oh, it'll be a lot. It'll be a lot. We've sat down with the guys that I know that are going right now, and we've, you know, we've planned the whole spring and the summer already. And as far as what we want to get in and implemented, what we want to get done this spring and what we want to try to get done this summer. And, you know, now with UIL, with the summer conditioning programs and all, it really makes it a lot better for you.
Okay, and how do you know exactly what you'll do, let's say offensively and defensively, before you get a chance to really evaluate the players you have on hand?
You know, I don't think you really do know for sure. You just have a general plan, you know, and our offense is multiple and our defense is multiple, and we'll look and, you know, and evaluate the players and see what we think we can do and go from there. It's you know, it's not an exact science to it, that's for sure.
You going to miss the District of Doom?
Yeah, really, you know, and then people have asked me, and I said, yeah, it's a great district to play in. It's a hard district to get out, you know, to get out of and play with some really great teams in there this year that didn't get a chance to play any. But, you know, anytime you have really good teams in a district, you get, you know, where you have a respect for it. And, you know, and I think that it will continue to be a very strong district.
And, of course, they can always realign and put you right back in it next year.
That's exactly, right? You know, that's exactly right. You know, you got 1 year where you know where you're going to be, and after that, you don't know again. So you're right.
Well, Coach, we congratulate you again. Wish you the best of luck in your move to Pittsburgh. I know the people in Henderson are sorry to see you go, but you did leave it in great shape, and we congratulate you on your success there and wish you luck in Pittsburgh. Hope you're happy there.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
All right, good talking to you, Coach.
Dickey
Meeks, the new head football coach at Pittsburgh High School on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.